Hello, welcome to another episode of For the Record. So for this video, we're going to go over Amber's cross-examination, the last one that she did with Camille. Camille's very vicious. I have not watched the full thing of this, so we're going to go over this as it goes. I know that this has already happened, and we will get the verdict probably sometime next week, but I want to go through these last couple clips here and yeah, let's check it out. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you guys like this content. Make sure to hit like, it definitely helps out my views and the algorithm. Let's see what the bullshitter has to say.
Ms. Heard, you just testified that this case has been very hard for you. So let's talk about that and why.
All right.
Your lies have been exposed to the world multiple times, right?
I haven't lied about anything I've been here to say.
So I'm going to stop right there. And before we get too far into this, or even into this really at all, I want to say I hope Evan Rachel Wood and Ashley Smithline and all the rest are watching and take notes, because this is about what's going to happen to you guys when you guys have to go to court when Manson gets his day in court. Just say it. You know, you think it's all easy. You can just go up there on the stand without any evidence at all. All this bullshit evidence and have hearsay and no proof. And you're just going to be able to everybody's just going to believe you. That's not how it works.
You sat here and told this jury that the events in Hicksville started with Mr. Depp getting really upset about a woman leaning on you. Is that correct?
Yes, that's effectively what happened, yeah.
You testify that he actually grabbed that woman's wrist and twisted it, right?
And told her that he could effectively break her wrist by saying he knew how many pounds of pressure, or asking her how many pounds of pressure it took to break a human wrist.
But your own witness, your former best friend, Rocky Pennington.
So every time they say that line, not to interrupt, but I always think of that Vinnie Paz line on Army of the Pharaohs. How many pressures does it take for human legs to break? A little bit different, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
She didn't corroborate that, did she?
I'm not quite sure what part
What
of
a
that night she
shocker.
saw. There were a lot of people there.
Oh, there are a lot of people.
She
there.
didn't testify that Mr. Depp grabbed anyone's
She
wrist in
says
Hicksville.
anything and everything. Just to
Again,
make
I
it
don't know
fit her
what Rocky
narrative.
saw. There were a lot
And
of
she has
people there
no
that night.
proof of anything.
You testified that once you brought Mr. Depp back to your trailer, he trashed it, correct?
That is correct.
And the manager of the Hicksville trailer park was furious that Johnny had wrecked the whole thing. Do you remember that testimony?
That's correct.
Well, we heard from that manager of the Hicksville trailer park, Morgan Knight, on Monday, didn't we?
I'm not quite sure who that guy was or if he had any involvement in this. I know a lot of people have come out of the woodwork to be involved.
So you're accusing Mr. Knight of testifying and committing perjury?
I'm not accusing anyone. I just don't recognize that man.
Bullshit.
You heard Mr. Knight testify that it was actually you who was upset
She's a
with Mr. Depp
bullshit
spending
artist. That's what she
time
is,
away from
a
him. Isn't that
bullshit
correct?
artist.
How would he know? He wasn't there.
How would he know?
You heard Mr. Knight testify that it was actually
She's
you who was
so
yelling at
full
Mr.
of
Depp.
shit.
Again, I've heard a lot of people say a lot of things to be involved in the Johnny Depp show, but
The
he
Johnny
wasn't
Depp
there.
show.
He doesn't know. And he certainly doesn't know what happened behind closed doors, like most people.
So you're calling Mr. Knight a liar?
I am saying he wasn't there, and what he testified to doesn't match what I know happened. But I don't fault him. He wasn't there, so how would he know?
He
Now he
testified he
wasn't
was there,
there,
Ms.
so
Heard.
how would
Did you
he
hear
know?
that?
That's his testimony, yes.
So you're calling him a liar.
I'm just saying he wasn't there.
You heard Mr. Knight testify that the trailer wasn't trashed, and that's why you're calling him a liar.
He testified that a light fixture was broken, similar to the way that
Yes,
Johnny's
other than a light
employees
fixture. That was
testified
the
to
only
my
thing that was
closet
broken,
being
right? Ms.
rearranged
Heard?
and things
Ms.
like
Heard,
that.
the only thing that was broken in the trailer, according to Mr. Knight, was a light fixture. Yes or no?
vicious.
I realized that
I love
he summed it up by saying a light fixture was broken, just the way his security guard summed up him trashing my closet as being rearranged.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to strike everything after he summed it up that it was a light fixture as non-responsive.
She answered the question, Your Honor.
Overruled.
In the security guard testimony, Your Honor?
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
Mr. Knight also testified that he charged Mr. Depp only $62 for the damaged light fixture. You heard that, correct?
I did.
In Hicksville, you were the only one that was jealous that Mr. Depp was spending time from other people. Isn't that correct, Ms. Heard?
That
Is
is
she always
incorrect.
jealous?
In Hicksville, you were the one who was
She's
upset
a
that
crazy
Mr. Depp wasn't
bitch.
giving
Look
you
at
enough
her.
attention.
She's a fucking crazy
Incorrect again.
bitch. No
Ms. Heard, you
fucking
told this
bullshit.
jury that you had no idea the press was going to be at the courthouse when you got your TRO on May 27th, 2016. Do you remember that testimony?
I said I did not have anything to do with it. Yes.
No. My question again. You told this jury that you had no idea that the press was going to be outside after you got the ex-party TRO on May 27th, 2016. Do you remember that testimony?
I apologize. I must have misunderstood Ms. Vasquez. I actually had no idea whether they were going to be there or not. When I walked into the courtroom that day, it was completely quiet, still, empty. Even though I had given Johnny's team notice that I was filing the
Objection.
TRO,
Your Honor, this is not
we had no
responsive.
reason to
Move to
believe the
strike.
press knew.
And Your Honor, I would also ask that you instruct the witness to please stop talking once I lodge an objection.
Your Honor, she's trying to answer the question as best she can, and Ms. Vasquez is misrepresenting to her what she testified to.
Well, I'll strike the last part as non-responsive.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Just if you could just answer the questions asked. Okay, thank you, Ms. Heard.
In fact, you testified that you were, quote, shocked when you
Such
saw
a
press
bullshit.
when you were leaving the courthouse. Yes?
Yes.
You weren't shocked at all, though, were you?
Incorrect. It was
You knew the press
horrifying.
would be at the courthouse, right, Ms. Heard?
No.
Well, you did bring your publicist to the courthouse with you on May 27th, 2016, didn't you?
I sure did. I'm a public figure. I brought my publicist in case it blew up.
She's a
In
shit
case.
figure.
And
You
I'm
actually
glad
had
I did.
alerted TMZ that you would be filing a TRO against Mr. Depp that very
No,
day,
I did
didn't
not.
you?
No, I did
The
not.
one day you didn't bother to wear makeup to cover up the mark on your face.
I did not call TMZ
So
or any other news
fucking
source or paparazzi
ridiculous.
source. No one.
Well,
I
we
never
heard
did that.
testimony from former TMZ employee Morgan Tremaine yesterday, correct?
Did I hear his testimony?
Yes.
Yes, I was here.
Yes.
Goddamn commercials.
And you heard Mr. Tremaine's testimony that he knew to dispatch the paparazzi to the courthouse on May 27th, right?
I heard him say that he knew that, yes.
Yeah, and that he dispatched paparazzi to the courthouse to capture a picture of an alleged bruise on the right side of your face. Do you remember him saying that?
I remember him saying that.
That information must have come from your team, right, Ms. Heard?
Absolutely not. Why would I want that? What actual survivor of domestic violence wants that?
Now, the video of Mr. Depp
You
beating
do,
up some
clearly.
kitchen cabinets, you admit that you took that video,
Fucking
correct?
crazy bitch.
Yes, I did.
And you acknowledge that the video was released online the day before you were deposed in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp in August of 2016, right?
I believe it was, yes.
But you testified that you had absolutely nothing to do with the video's release, right?
Absolutely not.
And you testified that you learned about it when you landed after flying into LA. Do you remember that testimony?
Upon touchdown is when I was alerted to the video's
You
existence
heard Mr.
online.
Tremaine testify that about this video as well yesterday, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And you heard Mr. Tremaine testify that TMZ received the cabinet video the same day you landed at LAX. Yes?
I don't know if that's what his testimony was. I'm sorry.
You heard Mr. Tremaine
She doesn't know a
testify
lot of
that
shit,
the cabinet video was
but she's
posted
so sure of
15
some
minutes
stuff, but
after
with no
TMZ
proof.
received it. Yes?
That's what I heard him say.
And that this could only have been possible if the video was received directly from the source. Yes?
I heard him say that.
Directly
I don't know if that's
from
true or if
the
that's possible.
source.
Because
That
it didn't
is
come from
exactly
Mr.
what he
Ryan.
said.
Tremaine
So I know
testified.
that's
Exactly what he
incorrect, is what I
said.
mean to say.
Another liar on the stand.
I just
Another
know that
liar
that's
on the
incorrect.
stand.
Right. And you heard Mr. Tremaine testify that TMZ owns the copyright to the cabinet video, right?
That's news to me.
The cabinet video you filmed of your then husband. Yes?
The copyright ownership of that is news to me. I learned that yesterday.
It's the cabinet video that you captured of your then husband. Yes?
That is correct. I did capture that video, and
The
yes,
cabinet
that was
video,
my husband.
the same cabinet video that was released the night before you were deposed in your divorce. Yes?
That's correct.
You must have also
She's
heard Mr.
so
Tremaine
full
testify
of
that the version of the cabinet
shit.
video that TMZ received was incomplete compared to the video the jury saw in this trial.
Imagine
Did you
that.
hear
It was incomplete. Wow, what
The
a shocker.
video that the jury that you have seen is complete.
Right. But the one TMZ got the day before your deposition in
Was
divorce
incomplete.
was incomplete.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
He testified that at the beginning portion of the video where you set up the camera, that wasn't included in the video that TMZ received.
I don't know what video TMZ
I'm talking
received.
about Mr. Tremaine's testimony, Ms. Heard. Let's just
So you're
focus on
asking me to
Mr.
repeat
Camille.
his testimony?
No, I'm asking you if you recall hearing him say those words to this jury.
Yes,
Under oath.
I heard his testimony. We all did.
And he testified that the end of the video where you can be seen smirking. I know you testified earlier that you haven't been smirking in this trial, but you sure were caught on camera smirking in that video.
I disagree with that.
Was also not included in the TMZ video.
Everyone can watch that video and you can determine whether you think it's funny to me or not.
That's because the video came from you, right, Ms. Heard?
No, it did not.
You
That
edited
video
out
did
the
not
portions.
come to me. I
Ms.
mean, come
Heard,
from me.
Ms. Heard, you edited out the portions
She's
that made
such a
you
liar.
look bad before sending it to TMZ.
You're very wrong about that.
So that
If I
only
wanted to
Mr.
leak
Depp
information, I
looked
could have
bad.
done it in a more effective way, a lot sooner and a lot more.
Because you
I
knew
was
exactly
living
how to
with
do
a
that,
mountain
right?
of this evidence. If I wanted to leak it, I could have done a lot more with it.
Oh,
They
then why
testified
didn't you?
earlier
Then why
in this
didn't
trial
you?
that you didn't know
You're
how
the
to
one
leak
that.
things.
I
Remember
don't.
that?
You're in court right now. You're so
You edited
insane
that
to
video
even
before
think
you
that
gave
you
it
was gonna come
TMZ,
to
so
court
that
and
only Mr.
everybody
Depp
was
would
gonna
look bad.
believe you.
Yes?
That's absurd.
Right in the middle of your divorce
You're
proceedings.
absurd.
Again, you're very wrong.
Everybody's wrong except for Miss Amber Heard. She knows it all.
I'd like to show you a picture from that's already admitted into evidence.
What a
It's
fucking
Defendant's Exhibit
bitch.
799.
God, I can't wait till she gets what she deserves. Come on, bring on the verdict. I want to hear the verdict.
This is you at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016. when you
After
got
this
your
video, I
domestic
got
violence
another one
restraining
that we're
order
going to go
against
over
Mr.
that
Depp,
was
right?
really, really
It
good.
is.
And next to you is a woman named Jody Gottlieb, right?
Yes, yes.
Jody Gottlieb is your publicist.
And dear friend,
Now I'd like to show you what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1316. This is a picture of you and your friend Rocky Pennington, right?
that is correct.
Your Honor, I'd like to move to admit this photograph.
Any objection to 1316?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 1316 in evidence, you can publish to the jury.
This is a picture of you on May 28th, 2016, right, Ms. Heard?
I don't know when this was taken.
This is the day after you obtained the domestic violence restraining order against Mr. Depp, right?
I have no idea when this image was taken. I did not take it.
There's no
Magic,
bruise
Matt.
on your face in this picture, is there?
Again, I don't know when this was taken, and also I'm outside. I was obviously wearing makeup. I have no idea when this was taken, so I have no idea if I can
Let's
speak to
refresh your
what
recollection.
bruise you can
Let's
see or
refresh
not.
And
your
just
recollection
so
about when this
you
picture
know,
was taken.
Makeup
Can we
cannot
please
cover
pull
up a bruise.
Plaintiff's Exhibit
It will not cover
1315,
up a bruise.
just for the
You can
witness?
still see it either way. Just say
This
it.
is an
She's
article
definitely a
dated
fucking
May
liar
30th,
on that too.
2016, right, Ms. Heard?
Everything
That's
she
what it says,
talks
yes.
about is a fucking
This
lie.
article contains the same photograph of you and Miss Pennington we were just looking at, yes?
Yes, I see that.
And the article is entitled, Amber Heard Smiles as She Puts Arm Around Friend One Day After Getting Restraining Order Against Johnny Depp. Is that what the title says?
I know that's what the title says, yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and publish the article with everything but the headline and date and the photo redacted.
Objection, Your Honor. That's inconsistent from the way you've treated all of these.
I'll sustain the objection. All right, next question.
Let's take a look at picture Plaintiff's Exhibit 1317. This is also a picture of you and Miss Pennington on May 28th, 2016, isn't it?
I don't know when this photo was taken, but it looks like the same outing as the picture prior.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit and publish Plaintiff's Exhibit 1317.
Any objection?
No, Your
All
Honor.
right, 1317 in evidence, you can publish.
There's no bruise on your face in this picture either, right?
I disagree. If it is taken when you represent it was taken, then obviously there's a bruise on my face. It's covered by makeup, as per usual.
Let's
There's
zoom
no
out of that
fucking
picture for a
bruise.
moment, please. Thanks, Tom. That's Josh Drew in this picture, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And Miss Pennington
That is correct.
in there too? Miss
That is
Pennington submitted a sworn statement on your behalf in support of your domestic violence restraining order, didn't she?
I believe she did, yes.
Mr. Drew also submitted a statement in support of your domestic violence restraining order.
I believe they both did, yes.
And they're
Ms. Heard,
both
I'd like
liars,
to show you
just like
Defendant's Exhibit
Miss Heard.
512, which is already in evidence.
What if you can earn income while learning how to code? That way you don't have to worry about when your next paycheck is going to hit.
Sorry, goddamn commercials.
You've seen this photograph before, right?
I have.
On the second day of your direct testimony, you testified that this was taken in the downstairs of the main apartment on December 15th, 2015. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes, I believe so.
So it's your testimony that Defendant's Exhibit 512 reflects damage to Penthouse 5 that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident. Yes?
I'm not quite sure from what incident this is when I see this photo in a vacuum without context.
Let's give you that context. Can we please, thanks. I could have day 16 trial testimony. We approach.
All right.
I hate it when it freezes like that. What the fuck's going on?
Could you please turn first to page 4585?
Ooh, a wine bottle. A little bit of splash. She over exaggerates everything.
Specifically on starting on line 16, where it says, let's talk about December 15th, 2015.
You said 458, or 4, I'm on 4485, sorry. You said 4585.
4585.
Pardon.
Line 16. Line 16, where it says, let's talk about December 15th, 2015. You see that?
Yes.
And then do you see that your testimony about December 15th, 2015 follows?
Let's see. It's just the first line or two. Yes.
Okay. Now I'd like you to turn to page 4603. Starting at line 12. 4603. Starting at line 12 and going on to page 4604, line 4.
Okay.
And do you see that you testify that Defendant's Exhibit 512, which is on the screen,
Yes,
is a picture of the downstairs of the main apartment?
that's correct.
And the main apartment is Penthouse 5 in the Eastern Columbia building, right?
No, well, depends on what, the main apartment's penthouse 3 generally when we say main apartment.
Penthouse 5 was where you had your closet?
The downstairs was kind of like had some of my painting studio set up and a reception area. Upstairs was the closet.
Got it.
Mezzanine office was in between.
All right, so it's your testimony that Defendant's Exhibit 512 reflects damage to the penthouse, Penthouse 5, that occurred during the December 15th, 2015 incident, right?
I'm just not sure from which incident this is a picture of, since I'm only looking at
Even
a
though your
partial
counsel
floor.
was asking you questions about December 15th, 2015, and then admitted this picture into evidence
Again,
in
in my
relation to that incident.
Sorry, go ahead.
In relation to that incident on December 15th, 2015. This exhibit, Defendant's Exhibit, you are the defendant, number 512, was admitted into evidence in this court. You testified that this was the result of damage that occurred on December 15th, 2015. Yes or no?
Some weak ass
I just need to
evidence.
orient myself because I'm just looking at a picture of a partial
No,
picture of a
Ms. Hurd,
floor,
you didn't just
so
look
I
at a
can't.
picture. You looked at your testimony.
You pointed me towards the page and then asked me a question. I haven't actually reviewed it. I don't know if this was submitted in relation to that incident.
Let's pull up,
How would you not
let's
know?
actually leave up Defendant's 512 and please pull up Defendant's Exhibit 725. which is already in evidence
Thank you.
in
Like,
redacted form, Your
if
Honor.
you're the person that
thank
went
you.
through this, don't you think
Side by
you would
side.
know everything that would happen and your
You've seen this
story wouldn't
photograph as
change
well, right?
a
I
million
have.
times?
On the third day of your direct testimony, you testified that this photograph
feel like
reflected
it
spilled wine in
changes
Penthouse
all the
5 on
fucking
May
time.
21st, 2016.
And she just says
didn't
whatever
you?
the fuck she wants.
Again, I don't know because I'm looking at a
just
partial picture
don't
of a
get it.
floor. So unless you remove the metadata you've covered up, we could then tell. If you
I didn't
remove-
cover it up, Your Honor.
Could we unredact
Your Honor
them so
did.
we could get context?
That's how it's in evidence.
That's how
All
it's in
right.
evidence.
Next
Well,
question.
the metadata next to it is so that
Ms.
to
Hurd,
avoid this
Ms.
sort of
Hurd, there is
confusion.
no question pending, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't be making argument to the jury.
Sorry, I
It's
thought you had
inappropriate.
asked me about it.
No, I didn't ask you about anything. Let's look at your direct testimony from the third day.
She's fucking crazy.
Yes, ma'am? Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's turn to page 4750 in day 17 transcript.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
4750.
I don't understand how she always has to ask each time they say that. Wait, what was the number?
Specifically line 16.
4750?
Do you see where Ms. Bredehoff asked you to describe for the jury what took place on May 21st, 2016?
I see that.
I think
And
she
do you
really
see that
done
your
fucked
testimony
up,
is
to be
reflected
honest.
about May 21, 2015?
Yes.
That follows?
And,
Okay.
Yes.
Like, honestly,
Now let's turn to page
who's gonna watch Aquaman
4804
nobody. It's gonna be the biggest box office,
at line 14.
like, it's gonna be the worst.
4804.
It's gonna flunk.
Starting at line 14
Yes.
through 4805, line 4.
Going to what line?
Line 4 at 4805. Do you see that you're testifying that defendant's exhibit 725, which is reflected on the right side, reflects spilled wine on the floor in penthouse 5?
That's correct.
Okay, and defendant's exhibit 512 and 725 seem to be different versions of the same picture, don't they?
That's correct.
Okay. So which is it? Which one was taken on December 15th, 2015, or May 21st, 2016?
If you remove the redacted metadata, you can find out.
Wow, what
It's
a
right
dumb
there.
Or
bitch.
if you're telling the truth, you would know.
Oh,
Of spilled wine on a floor, and I'm
bam.
supposed to know off the top of my head when you've
No.
lived through 5 years of this stuff? I don't think so. That's not how that works.
Okay.
She's such a fucking liar. Fucking liar.
Ms. Hurd, at the beginning of your cross-examination
Your
last
Honor, may
week,
we approach?
Yes.
Fucking liar. I just love it. She just makes herself look so bad. Like, all the fucking time. Like, how can you make yourself look this bad? And the fact that you thought you was going to go to court and you was just going to have all this hearsay and, you know, my word against yours with no evidence. I mean, to be honest, you made yourself look bad. You made yourself look bad. At the end of this, when this is all said and done, she has no one to blame but herself. And it sucks too because she ruined the whole fucking Me Too movement. And the other thing that sucks too is because you
All right,
want to
ladies and gentlemen in
believe
the gallery, I would ask that there
somebody
be no
when they
words,
say
no phrases,
that these
no
type
words,
of things happened.
no sounds at all coming from you. If I hear one more sound, I will clear the gallery and we will continue this testimony without anybody in the courtroom. Understood? Good. All right, your next question.
Ms. Heard, at the beginning of your cross-examination last week, I showed you an audio where you told Mr. Depp to tell the jury, tell the judge, tell the world that he is a victim of domestic abuse. Do you remember that?
That's correct.
And you testified you found it hard to believe that Mr. Depp would tell the world that he's a victim of domestic abuse, didn't you?
I said I find it hard to believe that he would do that knowing that he himself had beat me up for 5 years.
But he has told the world that he's your victim of domestic abuse, hasn't he?
Well, he started to say that only recently. He didn't make that claim up until very recently. So when we signed our divorce agreement and we signed a statement saying that neither party had ever said false claims for financial gain, it was relevant and important to me because I was the only one making the accusations. I was the only one making those claims. He wasn't doing that at the time, and he signed his name to it.
You didn't expect as many people to show up and testify on his behalf that did you?
Incorrect.
Boom. Bombshell.
When you told this jury under oath that you never assaulted, actually, strike that. When you told this jury under oath that you punched Mr. Depp because you thought of Mr. Depp pushing Kate Moss down the stairs, you didn't expect Miss Moss to agree to testify that never happened, did you?
Incorrect.
Boom,
I know how many people
bombshell.
will come out of the woodwork to be in support of Johnny.
So
It
you
is
think
clear
Miss
by this
Moss
courtroom
needs
how
to
many
come
people
out
will
of the
do that.
woodwork to testify for Mr. Depp?
Everybody who was around in the 90s and the early aughts knew that rumor. I had heard that rumor from multiple people. Of course, that's what flashed through my head when my violent husband not only swung for me, but all of a sudden swung for my sister. Of course I thought of that. I did not expect her to show up or not expect her to show up. It didn't matter. It doesn't change what I believed at the time when we were on the stairs and I thought he was going to kill my sister by pushing her down the stairs.
You told this jury under oath that Mr. Depp was aggressive and trashed a trailer in Hicksville. You didn't expect the manager of the Hicksville property, Morgan
Boom,
Knight, to come forward and
bombshell.
testify that wasn't true, did you?
Incorrect. I've already been through trials with this man. I know how many people will come out in support of him.
When you told this jury under oath that you had
She's
no
so
idea that the
full of
paparazzi
shit.
would be at the courthouse on May 27th, 2016, you didn't expect a TMZ employee to show up to testify that TMZ had been alerted that you would be at the courthouse and knew exactly which side of your face to take a picture of, did you?
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. Is I was speaking to that
Boom,
phenomenon.
bombshell.
How many
That's
people
why
will
I
come
wrote
out in
the
support
op-ed.
of him and will fall to his power. He is a very powerful man, and people.
On May 27th, 2016, you didn't expect a TMZ employee to show up to testify that TMZ had been alerted that you would be at the courthouse and knew exactly which side of your face to take a picture of, did you?
I know how many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. I was
Bam,
speaking to that
boom,
phenomenon.
bombshell.
How many people will come out
Bitch
in
just
support of
admitted
him
she wrote the
and will fall
motherfucking
to his
thing.
power. He is a very powerful man, and people love currying favor with powerful
Should have
men.
been case
Curry
closed
I
right
know
then
that
and there.
person. I've
Risking
lived
jail
it.
time for committing perjury?
Excuse me?
Jail
I didn't hear
time.
your
You
question.
didn't hear
Excuse
my
me?
question?
Ms. Vasquez, if you do
Curry-
mind, please just repeat the question. I didn't hear you.
Curry favor and commit perjury in this courtroom?
I have
For a
seen people
powerful
do this.
man?
I have seen people do this time and time again. That's why I wrote the op-ed.
You didn't expect Ben King,
Why
the
she
Australian
wrote the
Australia, to
op-ed.
show up from England. He flew from England to testify that Mr. Depp's fingertip was found exactly where he said it would be. Did you?
I have never heard Johnny testify to knowing where his finger was, or really, frankly, making a claim that he knew where it was when it was found. I've never heard Johnny claim that.
You didn't expect
Johnny
Keenan
doesn't-
Wyatt.
Johnny has never
Ms.
actually
Heard.
said that.
Ms. Heard.
And
I think the
and
jury
he-
can,
yes.
Ms. Heard, there's no question pending. You didn't expect Keenan Wyatt, Mr. Depp's longtime sound technician, to show up and testify that Mr. Depp is not being fed lines through his earpieces, but instead music, did you?
Not that it matters much, but of course I did. I know how his employees treat him.
So you
I know how
probably-
his team treats him. Of course I expected that.
Okay, so you probably expected Isaac Baruch to come and testify for Mr. Depp, right?
I'm not sure I thought about that.
Yeah. But you didn't expect Mr. Baruch to weep for Mr. Depp after what you've put him through and so many others with your lies,
I
did you?
relate to Isaac because he and I are
There's
the
no
only
further
ones who have
questions, Your
cried
Honor.
on this stand.
Nothing further.
All right. Redirect.
They're the only ones that cried on the stand. You
Thank you,
fake
Your Honor.
cried.
Ms. Heard, if Mr. Baruch felt misled, who misled him?
Johnny, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him for crying. This is horrible.
Ms. Vasquez has suggested that you faked bruises on your face. Is that true?
Absolutely not. I didn't need.
After saving with customized.
Absolutely not, she says. So anyways, like I was trying to say, this is very sad because anytime somebody wants to come out and say some horrible shit happened, you want to believe them. You do. Especially a woman. Like, you want to believe them. But on this instance, I cannot. And as the evidence has shown multiple times that she is lying. And all these people testifying is proving that she's lying. Nobody showed up for her. Nobody. And hashtag justice for Johnny. Hashtag I stand with Manson. That's why I'm wearing my Manson shirt right now. Support Manson. Manson's a good dude. He'll come out on top like he always does. But anyways, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you want more videos like this, hit the thumbs up button. Sorry I can't speak today. It's been kind of weird lately. And the other thing is too, my vacation will be coming up sometime soon. So at some point I will let you guys know when I will be taking time off, and I will not be making videos for a little while there. I will be taking time off soon. I will let you guys know further details into that when it happens. But excuse me. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy your day. Have a good time. Make sure to be kind to everybody. And yeah. Peace.